Yo, what's up? This is OnCue. You're watching HotNewHipHop.com. Angry Young Man is out now. Go download that shit on this website right now because it's free right now. I grew up in a small suburb right outside of Hartford, Connecticut, called Newington. Started listening to hip hop young, like 3-4 years old. Used to steal like tapes from my older brother, and kind of fell in love with it early. You know, clearly growing up in a suburb of especially Connecticut, there wasn't really much hip hop around. And I used to, when I was like 5, 6, Disney Channel used to be channel 53, and my mom, like, when I was super young, was like super nervous about me watching MTV because she thought there was sex and drugs and like all that bullshit on MTV. So what I used to do was, since Disney was 53, I just like always dip between 52, which is MTV, dip back and forth between Disney and MTV and shit like that. And kind of from there, just like incessantly watch like fucking Rap City The Basement with Tigger back in the day. And I mean, that's kind of how I caught the bug and been obsessed ever since. When I first got into rapping, I was probably 9 or 10, and going back to the whole MTV BET thing, just watching the videos all the time, I grabbed a notebook, started writing. I used to go to the CD store. I begged like my babysitter or my mom at the time to drive me to the CD store and buy those maxi singles. I take the instrumentals off like anything. And I just start writing, and for the first like year or 2 years, I hid it from my whole family, my mother, my father, my brother, who's like 7.5 years older than me, because I knew he would have tried to beat my ass or some shit like that. And it was kind of like my little secret. I was just always enamored by it all as a genre, and you know, I took it progressively got more serious, and then when I moved out to New York when I was about 20, that's when I was just like, fuck this, you know what I mean? This is what I want to do for the rest of my life. How I linked up with Just Blaze, I was out here in New York, going to certain events, releasing free music on the blogs and on the internet and stuff, and I started picking up and following on my own. Me and my manager at the time, we were just grinding, dropping videos, free projects and all that stuff, and then a mutual friend, shouts to Ball God, kind of was just like, yo, I know Just Blaze, like, you're kind of killing it right now, like, maybe he'll fuck with your shit. And I was like, all right, cool, show him it. The Ball guy was a little hesitant. He was like, hey, no promises. And I was like, all right, fuck it. I think he's gonna understand what I'm trying to do, and sure enough, he did. A couple of years later, I just dropped a free album with the man. You know, working with Just, man, like in the beginning it was crazy. Like, I mean, me specifically, born in '89, growing up in the tri-state area, I mean, Jay was my favorite rapper, Kanye is my favorite rapper. The whole Rockefeller shit when I was like 13 was like religion. So when I first got in the studio with Just, I mean, it was a dream come true. Like, what can I say? I mean, straight up, he is and still is and probably forever will be my favorite, like, hip-hop producer of all time. That's just some real shit. But, I mean, we got in, we worked on, like, an old record just to rework the record. And, you know, obviously he does a lot of events in the city, and he's around. And just naturally from there, between the studio and just being out with mutual friends and stuff like that, a real friendship actually came to be. And I mean, man, still, like, going back to the working thing is great. Just to see him work is, you know, it's surreal. Like, it still never really gets old. I'm used to him. It's just now to me on a personal sense. But, I mean, it's crazy. You know what I mean? Like, it's awesome. Usually when I do the ID3 tags and iTunes asks you genre, I put hip-hop/alternative, just leaves it open-ended. I mean, I'm inspired by more than hip-hop. I love hip-hop. I've been listening to it for like more than 2 decades at this point. But I mean, I'm a big indie rock fan. I'm a big alternative rock fan. I'm a big R&B fan. And just like all that experimental shit, you know, I always look at it like I've been rapping, like aforementioned, since I was 10. So a lot of times when all you're doing is writing raps and just, you know, paying attention to what's going on in the culture and just like the game in general, like you need an escape. And I found that escape when I was like 20 or 21. you know, just trying to find different shit to listen to. So I try to incorporate everything that really, truly does inspire me. You know, like if I had to take one album on a deserted island for the rest of my life, it probably wouldn't be a rap record. It would probably be Transatlanticism by Death Cab for Cutie. Judge me if you want to, but that's my release, you know what I'm saying? So with that being said, that's my genre. It's just, you know, what's my subgenre is just all the shit I listen to. I love incorporating melodies in my shit, and that will probably never change. Angry Young Man, which HotNewHipHop premiered, it was a culmination of about 2.5 years of like strenuous work. It was the first album, first project that I was able to work on without working a job. I just got off tour. Music became a job for the first time, dream come true. You know, I was paying my bills with music money, and all I had to do was focus on getting better at my craft and making a fantastic body of work, which I think I succeeded tenfold. But where I got the title, a friend of mine, Pat from Mannequin Party, their group, he passed me a Billy Joel biography, and I was just, you know, I was trying to get inspired. I kind of like watching a shit ton of movies, TV, reading books before I really dive headfirst into a project. I like to see words on paper. I like to see how they're formed together. And man, the song title from Billy Joel kind of happened to be in the book, and it just caught my eye. Like, you know, Can't Wait, the project before Angry Young Man, was the first project where I was getting label attention, and now I knew I was going in the studio with Just, and it was the first time things became real. And I always wanted to make the next project like, yo, if I had to explain to someone who I am and what my music is, I wanted it to be a statement, and I felt Angry Young Man was a nice reflection of that. It kind of covers what I usually talk about, and which is personal shit. So that's Angry Young Man. You know what I mean? Like I feel like it's just me. I'm not the most angry as a person, but it's more of a feeling and a sentiment rather than a fucking, you know, prison sentence. Collaborations, as most people know, that's not really my gig. I kind of like working alone in the studio. That's just me. I have a team of producers. It's a grocery list of so many talented dudes that I work with on the regular. But I mean, obviously you got Just, you got, you know, CJ Luzy, you got Maki, you got Brenton Duvall. Yeah, I mean, that's usually, I just keep it home team. You know what I mean? Like did a record with Ro Ransom last year. Did a record with my homie Skizzy Mars. Who else? Me and Childish Major were just talking on Twitter. Maybe something will come of that. My homie Terrence Ryan, incredible. But like I said, I mean, usually I kind of keep to myself, and I kind of just, you know, it's the way the records are structured. 2015 is, I need to get my footing back from Angry Young Man. What I mean by that is I knew I needed to churn out a project of that weight, you know what I mean? But now we just got back in the studio. I got this amazing idea to release the new music, a new way, I should say. And the key is to always be inspired, and I think this new way of releasing shit is gonna be really dope. So expect a lot of new music in 2015. I'm gonna be on the road. I'm gonna be on the road soon in the spring. And yeah, man, more videos. Like, we're putting blood, sweat, and tears in the videos and shit like that. So new music, actually, because the music's flowing perfectly right now. So I'm excited as fuck.
Floating While Dreaming, originally when I started it, was just a concept that started from the movie Waking Life. It's a documentary that I found online. The whole concept was built around one's lucid dream and how he grew up within this dream, and was experiencing new philosophies. It's basically like a fresh mind going out into the world and soaking up all these different influences. And I was going through the exact same thing because I had left what was the safe world, as in college, and dropped out and decided to be influenced by things that everybody in my circle wasn't at the time. So it was very like new to me, just as this documentary was. So I felt like it correlated with me.
Me and my manager, Netta Grit, you know what I'm saying? Like, when he had sent me a couple beats, you know what I'm saying? And I played the beat, I'm like, oh, I like this one right here. Then the next day I called him, he came and picked me up for me. I let him hear the song. So we went to go lay it down probably like 2 weeks later. You know what I mean? This was like around March. I want to say March. You know what I mean? And after we laid it down in March, 6 to 7 months later, you know what I'm saying?